Hi there and welcome to Our Standards. My name is Quinta Mbori. Now it is that season again when we get to meet politicians at the ballot. The question we are asking on today's episode of Our Standards is very simple. What will it take for women politicians to have a seat at the table? Now, joining me to navigate this very interesting topic is a team of panelists and, of course, political aspirants. Now, before I introduce them, I would like to tell you a bit about our current location. We are at the Tamarind Tree Hotel, famed for their hospitality and, of course, their amazing services. You can come in for staycations, enjoy their meals, you can do your conferences, name it. Now you can join us, partner with us during this episode and tell us what you think about today's episode. What do you think it will take to have more women having seats at the table? We are available at KTN Home on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but of course you can also talk to me directly at Quinta Mbori on the same socials. Now, are you ready to meet these phenomenal women? Let's go meet them. Okay, let me start saying hi from here. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Habari zenu?
Salama sana.
Mmeamuaje leo? Mmependeza hivi. You guys are looking mzuri.
It's a girl's thing.
It's a girl's thing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to hang out with you guys.
Thank you. Exactly.
It's a privilege.
We're happy to be here. KTN Home.
You-
It's really our home.
Welcome home. And congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'm joined by three women politicians on today's episode of Her Standards. We have an exciting show for you. I can tell you for free. You need to stick with us till the end. We'll really appreciate you. Remember, you can talk to us on KTN Home. Talk to me directly at Quinta Mbori. You can also hit our Madam Producer directly at Grace Waweru on all the social media platforms. We cannot wait to hear your feedback on what you think about our topic of the day. Very simple question. What do you think it will take to have more women politicians at the table? Now, I am joined by three beautiful, strong women. I'm talking about Dr. Juliet Kimemia. She'll be able to introduce herself deeply, but all I can say for now is that she is running for, she wants to be governor of Kiambu County. That is one very hot seat. We'd like to hear some of the plans that she has for Kiambu County. And then, of course, I have Dr. Frida Karani, who is also an aspiring senator for Embu. And of course, I have Julia Chege, who is a member of parliament aspirant for Kangema. As you can see, these are heavyweights in the forthcoming general elections in August this year. So karibuni sana warembo. So I think we'll just get straight into it. Maybe I'll give you this chance to, introduce yourself to Kenyans, to your electorates. Tell us why you're joining politics and a bit about the plans that you've lined up for your people. Let me start with who? Let me start with Julia.
Thank you so much for having me here. And good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
And future leaders of this country. My mentor, Dr. Juliet. Thank you so much. My name is Julia Nyokambi Chege from Kangema constituency, that is in Murang'a County, a place called Wathia Ward. Our village is called Kenyanjero. I'm grateful to be here. By training, I did biochem. That was my first degree. Then I did psychology counseling, and I did a master's in women leadership and governance, and my PhD is in women leadership and governance also. And I think I have a bit of shares at the University of Nairobi because I've been doing all that there. And come to think of women leadership and why I am here, and why do I want to vie? Why do I want to be the member of parliament Kagema? And I know I am fit and I'm qualified to be the member of parliament Kagema. One, I'm a scholar. So I understand the socio-economic aspect of our people and what impoverishes them, what issues they are having. Number one is education. We are having 100% transition to secondary schools, but are we having 100% retainer? We find so many girls, so many boys from Form 2, Form 3, they drop out and up to Form 4. They don't complete. So my agenda number one is education, that there is no child who will miss his or her secondary education, so long as I'm the member of parliament Kangema. That's number one. And I will involve other stakeholders, not just the CDF money. I know where to go for that, the scholarships, and our country is rich and people are ready to support education. And I'm a scholar, so I know the value of education. Number two, when we think about socio-economic empowerment, Kangema has a unique challenge. We have very many young people who are drunkards, taking alcohol, taking beer. These people, they're just there in the streets. And these people, we can give them alternative economic activity so that these people are not going to idle in the markets, you know. And we have projects like dry rad arrows that I have been doing for a very long time. We do value addition. We bring a bit of cottage industries within our people. I am envisioning and seeing a Kangema with a meal for dry rad arrows, with a meal for potatoes, with a meal, just to do value addition within our people and help them, because one arrow maybe would cost 50 bob, but a packet of of chips for arrowroot, it will cost like 100 bob. That means our women, they will not be waiting for a day whereby we have burials, we have weddings, and then they are bringing all their produce there and waiting for the people from Nairobi to buy. And maybe you are just mourning, you don't want to buy anything. But if we can have a way of having this consolidated produce together, I am sure our people, and especially the men, they will not be idling. They will be very busy in their farms and farming and doing the value-added products, and we will have products and they will be able to sell. And that way, we shall eliminate drug abuse in Kangema, alcohol, and we reduce poverty, because the level of poverty in our area, and especially Kangema, you can divide it into two. There is the T-zone, and then there is the Rua Kangema. Those are two different dynamics, and even when we are doing campaigns, there are places whereby women will tell you, let's pick our coffee, let's pick our tea, then we'll come for your meeting. But there are places you go, they want to be with you from morning to evening, just because they have nothing they are doing. So I know I'll be able to do that. And of course now, registration. I understand clearly what is the role of an MP. It's registration. We have very many policies that we need to enact that are really oppressing our people. We have the cancer bill. There is no homestead that doesn't have a cancer issue in our country. If you are not infected, then you are affected. And all of us every day, we are having alarm bells every day on WhatsApp that somebody is having this type of a cancer. So we need to register that bill, and the government need to take it up. Just like the way they took it up HIV. Today you don't need to die of HIV because the medication is accessible, not unless you really don't want. So why can't we register a bill that is going to help our people? And especially, you can imagine if you want to do chemotherapy within Murang'a County, Akuna, there is no way you can do. You have to come to Kenyatta, you have to come to Nairobi, and it is very expensive. Real chemotherapy is very expensive. How many Kenyans can afford that? So we're asking, what I'll be doing is to help and legislate with the other member of parliament that I'm going to fight there, and also fight that bill because it has been there. Why is it like, what happened? There are many other bills that are, you know, like the elderly bill. We have an age bracket of people after 35 up to the time they are 70 years. That is a group that is actually forgotten, but it's a very dynamic group. You know, that's a group that we need to look at. That is a group that is taking a lot of alcohol. That is a group that is productive. They're in their childbearing age, you know. That is the group that we need to get hold of, but it's a group that has gotten lost.
Getting lost.
So we need to do, to get a policy or something that can help them, or even some grants that can help them so that they can be able to push on.
You have quite a lot on your plate. I think the best we can do is just wish you well. We hope that you'll be able to get the chance to represent your people and, of course, grapple with all those issues. Let me introduce the other guests. I have Dr. Juliet here. As you introduce yourself, you know, we just came from the party primaries, and I know there's been a lot of drama and intrigues around it. So maybe as you introduce yourself, please also tell us what we can do with our losses, especially the female politicians. What happens next after you lose in a party primary? What options do you have? So the floor is yours, yes, Dr. Juliet.
Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Dr. Juliet Gathoni Kememia. I am running for Governor, Kiambu County. I've been nominated by my party, KANU, and I thank my party, KANU, for looking at me and finding me suitable to run against 8 bigwigs. I think I have the biggest load of competitors, but it is working to my advantage because each of my male competitors has a lineup. Half of them have their own political parties, and the other half has the major parties. And this has created a Kalonzo in me. Kapita katikati tu yao. So I thank God that I was able to go through the nomination. It was not an easy process. It was an expensive process. It was a process where I had to demonstrate that I have the capacity and the capability of getting these seats. And even if I don't get it, of offering very, very stiff competition to whoever, which is very unlikely, may win. But you know, in a political contest, there is only one position. There's only one number one. It's not like a marathon where there's gold and diamond and silver. So I am up to the task. I am carefully motivated and ready. What I would like to say, really to encourage the very, very many women we were with who are unable to get through the nomination. It is nice to develop closure strategies because many right now, not just women, I'm also addressing the young men because I think this contest has attracted the biggest number of particularly MCA aspirants. I don't think there's a ward that had less than 30 aspiring, you know, across the different parties. And now I think they have zeroed to a maximum of 8, including independents. So I would really like to encourage them that it was a bold step that they took, especially those who are running for the first time. There are those mistakes that people have made, especially the young men. I know quite a number who have been talking to me. By the way, I'm mother. I am Mama Care. You know, Baba has Baba Care. I'm Mama Care of Kiambu. A lot of the young men have been reaching out to me for psychosocial support. And with a group of women called Ladies for Peace, we are actually organizing for them to just have a meeting where they debrief, they get whatever has hurt them out of their hearts. I have what it takes because I ran in 2017 for Senate and got very serious votes despite running on a KANU ticket during the Jubilee wave. That landed me in the county as a minister. So I have served as the Minister of Trade, I have served as the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure. So there is no corner of Kiambu that I do not know. There is nobody, no stakeholder in Kiambu I haven't engaged at a personal level. So what I did when I was the Minister of Trade, I mapped all the 60 wards and I came up with a program that was called One Product, One Ward. So I have a plan for Githurai. Githurai is a heavily, densely populated area. It is urban. It has poor sanitation. So I have a program there for conversion of waste to money. The waste from the market, the waste from the household. And this is something we can escalate if given the opportunity. If you look at a place like Rari, it produces a lot of vegetables. I had a plan for construction of a pack house and you know, refrigerated buying centers. And there's also a lot of sites for development of tourism. Those are just two. So across the county, I know exactly what can touch on the ordinary mwananchi to make life easy, bearable, safe, to make trading productive, and also sustainable development. I also have an ongoing program for response and prevention of gender-based violence, especially after COVID. I am a member of the Gender Technical Working Group, and the day before yesterday, we had a full-day meeting with all the DCCs, looking at how we can hold our society together that has been ravaged by COVID. So I'm at the forefront in driving policy and programmatic direction in matters addressing GBV.
Of course, later on in the show, we'll talk about harassment and sexual harassment and violence that face, female politicians. I'm sure we will really tap into your resource. I know. But first, let us introduce Dr. Frida, who is also aspiring to be a senator, Embu County.
Yes.
Embu County.
Yes.
As you introduce yourself again once more, we've always aspired to be, take up leadership positions, be able to take up these political positions. But do you think there'll be a difference between female politician leaders and male politician leaders? I'm asking you this because I was speaking to a few people and they were saying that when women are elected into positions, they start behaving like men. Is that true? Yes.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
my viewer and my colleagues.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this opportunity
You're welcome.
to feature in this program. It is her standards
Yeah,
indeed.
to set standards for
Yes.
women, yes.
My name is Frida
Yeah.
Karani, and I'm a doctor by PhD. I hail from Embu, Manyata constituency, and I am a Senate candidate for Embu on the Service Party ticket. And my party leader is Honorable Mwangi Kionjuri. First, I want to challenge my colleagues who've been nominated to move from calling themselves aspirants to calling yourselves candidates. You're now heading to the final. You cannot be aspiring now, already you're a candidate, and those out there.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing as a woman to venture into the political field and be accepted. Because for a very long time, Kenya and Africa in general, there has been a stereotype on who a woman is and where a woman should belong.
True.
So really for me, it's a very exciting period even in the country generally for women, and I am glad to be part of it. So other than being a Senate candidate, I was also currently given a nomination to be in the Miss President Leadership Academy. And this is a program where they've identified women who have capacity, thank you, to be presidents. And we are going to be taken through some empowerment training, real life experience at the presidency level, some diplomatic kind of experiences, just to prepare ourselves for even bigger roles.
Yes.
So I want to really encourage women to really warm up and come on board so that they're able to be seen.
Yeah.
I chose to go for Senate because I believe, again, like any other job, you need to check what your qualities are and what your interests are so that you table your candidacy.
Yeah.
The Senate generally in our country has been reduced to a very small role where senators are viewed like whistleblowers. So it's like they are expected to, when corruption is rampant in the county, you raise your voice. When there's a problem in the county, you raise your voice. And I felt we are giving the Senate a very raw deal.
Yeah.
Because when we say the senator represents the county, their scope actually is very specifically the county, unlike the members of the National Assembly who consider all matters national. But we are being really narrowed down to the county, and our role is being lost in the middle. You're supposed to be, as a senator, you're supposed to be somebody who talks for your county, who looks for resources for your county, who discusses matters your county. So if there's one thing that has not happened in the Senate generally, is that the Senate and the governor are enjoying, is it even enjoying, or are having a very bitter kind of a relationship,
yes.
a lot of tension.
Yes.
you rarely see a senator and a governor together.
True.
But if there's anything senators and governors should do, is to have a very close relationship. Using my governor here for Kiambu as an example, her senator should be very close to her, so that the aspiration she has for her county, when the governor knows to send it, he knows or she knows what are the plans that are there for the county. So that when there is budgeting, I already have a clue. My governor is planning for roads. My governor has a vision of vocational training centers. My governor wants to beef up hospitals, so that then I'm able to carry her agenda to Senate, because her agenda, somebody else is carrying it in the National Assembly. But who is doing the real policy making, legislation, and resource allocation? It is the senator. So I think I want to encourage those candidates that are vying to Senate to really change their mindset and know that they are the governor's strength. When it comes to the relationship between the MCA and the senator also, they should be very close, because you know the MCA has their allocation for their development work. It is done at the Senate level. But how many senators have you seen sitting with their MCAs? So for me, I saw a major gap that only a woman could bridge because of the kind of understanding that I got. Now, you've asked about women in politics. And I think first I talk about the challenges, because that is really a question that is asked. And the challenges a woman faces, they are not different from the challenges a man faces, in the aspect that they are both political leaders. But for women, there are special challenges that are social in nature. Talking like more like gender roles is what really affects women. So you'll find for a woman, it is almost unacceptable, and it may not even work, because she wants to be there to cook for her family at 7 and wants to feed her family. So it's very rare you find a woman could be out at 10 p.m. And if you're out at 10 p.m., you take home a stereotype with it. Huyo tunamuonanga kwa siasa, kwa mahoteli, hata saa 4 na kwa na familia. So that stereotype follows you. But if it's a challenge or not, really depends on how you take it as the politician. Then you find that the man is able to stay out long after 10 and still go home and still go untouched. But I also want to pose a challenge and say, when the woman political leader, when her motherhood is being challenged because of being in politics, are the men remembering that their fatherhood is also challenged because of them being out? This woman needs her husband at home. This child needs her father at home. This boy child needs the father at home. And the agenda of boy child is really out there. So the challenges we are facing as women is really just by being leaders with just those few things that are social in nature following us. My agenda for my county is generally there's an uproar of different issues in different counties that are general in nature. But in my county, there is a very big uproar on the medical care, on agriculture, that agriculture is really not productive, and productive means translating, of course, to the pocket. There is an uproar as far as the women and the youth are concerned, because for the women especially, generally the funds they expect to get for their development, they are not getting, and the like. And then we have the issues of even the old people not getting their funds. The little money that government allocates them is not getting unto them. These are issues that we gather to kiskiza ground. We don't make them up. But what I'm saying is that if you look at most of those issues, the person who is affected the most is the woman. So in my saying, in my culture, we have a saying that goes, loosely translated, it fattens where it has fallen. Loosely translated. So like when the leaves of a tree fall, they form mulch. They form mulch where they have fallen. And so I'm saying, because most of these issues in the county are affecting the woman. When the health sector is not working, it is the woman who goes to the hospital to tend the patients. In some cases, we even have hospitals where women are fetching water for the sick people who are admitted. That's a woman. The woman is the one who is in the shamba, picking tea, picking coffee. They're the ones who goes for vibaruas. So that coin should really translate to the woman. So when that sector is not working, it is the woman. So for me, when I looked at the issues in my county, na nikaona ule mtu anashikika sana is the woman, I said, as a woman, let me go out and be the voice.
Yes.
Women, we are also told we are very good noisemakers.
Yes.
And because now a senator needs to be a talker, when you have a senator who does not talk in Senate, as a county, you've lost it. So can they allow us women to go and make use of our better talent in the Senate?
In the Senate.
So that when Governor Kimemia is seated in her office, she knows she has a senator ambaye atatetea county yake ipate zile rasilimali nataka. Not to sit in her office knowing that so and so will come to dig holes into my work and the like. Let my colleague from Kangema, when she's in Parliament debating a bill, a good bill, she knows when it comes to Senate, it will get the backing that it requires. And that is the gap that, for me, I expect to bridge in my county and urge all my Senate candidates to ensure they bridge it up so that then we are able to have a better society.
Good stuff. Thank you for that. Hold that thought. We would like to take a short break. Remember, today we have the political heavyweights. I've been informed that they are now candidates because their faces and their names are actually going to be in the ballot papers, and that is a feat, and we want to say congratulations to them. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. So we want to take a short break. Of course, we have bills to pay. When we come back, we still have a lot to talk about, including why we probably will have the next vice president being a woman in Kenya, why we will have or why we won't have. These amazing ladies will be able to dissect that topic for us. Talk to us at KTN Home on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but you can also reach me on at Quintambori on the same socials. Do you think we are ready for the first female president, or first female vice president in Kenya? We would like to know your thoughts on that. We will be right back. Welcome back to Her Standards with me, Queen Tambori. Thank you for joining us for this very interesting episode where I'm actually joined by scholars. My guests, one is a PhD candidate and two already are, they have had their PhD degrees. I have Dr. Juliet Kimemia, who has a PhD in entrepreneurship. I have Dr. Frida with a PhD in strategic leadership, and of course a PhD student in
women leadership and WASH.
Exactly. So these are some of the stereotypes that we are trying to kill in today's society, where we think that politics cannot go hand in hand, you know, with the people who are bright, people who are setting standards for the society. But you know what? Things are changing, and I'm very excited that I have these intellectuals to help me dissect this issue that has been trending in the country. Why is it taking too long for our country to elect female first president? Why is it taking long for our country even to enact the 2/3 gender rule? What exactly is happening and what do we need to change? The beautiful location where we are having this show is actually Tamarind Tree Hotel in Nairobi. You need to walk in and enjoy the ambience, enjoy the great services. But then of course they also have other services including staycations. I have dined here with my friends and they gave us an amazing experience. I don't know what you're waiting for. Remember, we would like you to be part and parcel of this show. Partner with us, talk to us, let's talk, let's engage. What do you think about women in political leadership? What will it take to have more women representation? What will it take to have more women seated at the political table? So let me get back to my guests. Karibuni sana for the second part.
Thank you.
Yeah, when we are off camera, we tend to tunaongea sana vitu mzito, but we want to translate that here.
Yeah.
Ladies, why do you think we're going to have the first female vice president in this country? And right now, the floor is open. What would it take?
Actually, I think this country is ripe for a woman deputy president. But one thing I want you to understand is that our country is very patriarchal. And the men think they're the only ones who are supposed to be in politics. Like us, we are facing a lot of issues as women because we have already gotten into a men's territory. And that's why you find that the easier target is the woman. And you know, this kind of negotiated democracy that is ongoing,
Yes.
it is so bad because we are likely to get the wrong people. Let people decide. Let us all go to the barrel. Let's stop this zoning. Let's stop this kind of rabaru. If you have a certificate, then you go to the barrel. Let's meet there. The issue of sexuality. Somebody will look at you. Where are you married? Or where as if marriage is something to do. It's a qualification to lead. You know, those are things that are making our country. You know, let us deal. I keep telling people, and even electorates in Kagema, let us not look at Julia Chege as a female aspirant, as a female candidate. Let us look at Julia as a leader, and you deal with me from the neck up.
Upward.
Don't deal with me anywhere else. Deal with me from the neck up. And that way we can engage. Yes.
Well said.
so right.
Dr. Julieta, there's one woman actually who said that, I read her story, she was aspiring to be a member of county assembly. And she was told that she has to dress in a matronly way because voters always think that youthful looking women are sleeping their way through the party. And then, of course, there are many other issues that female politicians have to grapple with before they finally get to have that seat at the table. Now, in your honest opinion, do you think that the electoral process, the politics, is it violent, is it hostile, or is it friendly to female politicians and male politicians as well? What is, you've been around for a while.
Yes, I've been around in politics
Yeah.
actively from 2017.
Yes.
But, as a kingmaker.
Yes.
The last maybe 30 years, because when Section 2A was repealed, I was a student leader in Moi University. Those many years, maybe you are not even. So I started politics in the university. And the likes of Duale and Mwangwairia were my classmates. So Moi University produced very serious.
I am from Moi University. I'm so happy. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Kudos to Moi University for making us.
Asante.
Yes. What I think is everything has been gradual, very, very progressive.
Yeah.
And I salute our 2010 Constitution.
Yes.
Because the introduction of the 47 members of parliament who are women just dismantled the societal norms, one touch. Because you go to Lamu, there's a woman member of parliament.
Yes.
You go to Turkana.
Oh, yes.
You know, all the counties in this country, you know,
Yes.
we are very ethnic.
Yes.
You go to Masai land,
There's
it
a
was a taboo for a woman to even walk near men. And now they go and elect.
Yes.
They see their woman and the men in the society start saying, sisi tulichagua so and so. But there was this other woman and this other one, hata hao walikuwa wametuomba kura na, you know, the constitution created the enabling environment for women to flood that space.
I like
So you go to the counties now. This is the third generation. So the first one was 2013.
Yeah.
Very many women per county
Yes.
ran for
Yeah.
woman rep. 2017, a few of them retained their seats.
Yes.
But all of them defended, and many others came in.
Yeah.
Now we have the third generation, and this in itself has created the pool of women who are in politics. So an assessment of what happened when they got there, they brought in God. So these women used to meet and pray together. So suddenly, Parliament stopped being a violent space. Suddenly, soberness came in because men couldn't just hurl any word because there are 47 women who are looking at them. Yeah. And you see, these men have come from their counties, they're from their constituencies. You do something that is disrespectful to other people or to your county, then the woman, member of parliament, is there, is watching.
Yeah.
He'll go and report you to the community. So that alone just dismantled a lot of the barriers that were there. And even that that judgment that that space is for women who are not married, who have not gone to school, home breakers, and prostitute. You know, prostitute used to be a very common name before 2013.
Yes.
Today, we appear in the community and everyone wants to talk to us. Everyone is like, wow, sisi hata tunataka wamama sahi. So violence has gone, insults have gone. Of course, the law has come in, including the cyber crime.
Bullying, yeah.
Cyberbullying now. Nobody is going to Photoshop me and go scot-free because they're being tracked.
Exactly.
You forward, you are tracked. So there is a lot of discipline, and therefore the space has attracted very, very many women. That's why we have left the comfort of being lecturers in the university to come in the space, because it is totally enabling. Another motivator for us who have gone to school is to encourage our young girls that no human being is limited, you know. No space is for bad people. Every space is good, and every space is can accommodate anybody who has the interest. So we are at the forefront in creating that enabling environment so that the generations that will come will go into all the spaces, irrespective of how dangerous the political space has been perceived to be. It's no longer dangerous. It's only expensive, and we are hoping, because as we are very broke, but we are making very good inroads.
I like that. And you know, Julia pointed something out about women experiencing very unique challenges, you know, lack of finances, and then of course on the ground, kuna violence kidogo, although you said in the current space, at least that has been managed. But still, there are women who we watch news and we see what happens. We make news, we watch news. And we saw the people who lost in the party primaries crying foul, you know, people saying, you know, I sold this, I sold that, and now I've lost everything. Okay? Frida, you went through that process. Possibly, other than the tip that Daktari has given us, how else can women still stay afloat in that space? What are those winning strategies that female politicians can use, can employ, whether they have money or not, you know, whether they have clout or not? What are those things that they can do?
First, starting from the nomination, it is with concern that I note that most of the people who lost it, because we say in politics, hakuna kuluzi. I mean, there is only one winner. You cannot be better at a ulikuwa number 2. If you lost by 1 vote, you just lost. Most of them were women. In my county, we have 20 wards. Every ward had a woman. Unfortunately, we got only 2. So the women are in the second place, and of course they are employing their own strategies. So it is really a real concern that women are losing, and of course they are going through the same investment that the men are doing. They are doing the same activities, and nowadays it's very hard to go out there and not find the money issue coming up, though it's reducing. But what I would want to say is, let everybody be prepared psychologically for a win or lose. Just like you invest in business, you either get it or you lose it. So just be prepared and have plan B. Hata kama ni kwenda just go back to the house and stay 6 months and compensate the time you lost with your family, but then ensure that plan number 2 is still your plan. Then of course there is the issue of networking and maintaining your balance in the party. We have had people, let me use the word rewarded, for being loyal to the party. But like my colleagues said, women will no longer want to be rewarded for the sake of being rewarded. Reward me because I have a diploma in ICT. Give me a work in the ICT department. Don't take me to Bunge, and Bunge was not my initial calling. So that's what we are calling for women. Because like for me, I have my plan up to plan number 5, and I can tell you my networks, even outside politics, will work for me after politics. I either go to business, I go back to teaching, not necessarily where I came from, or I just have something else to do. But let us just be prepared for a win or lose. I want to put a little bit into the issue of the vice president, and I want to say yes, we are ready for a
vice president
woman,
or president?
A vice president.
At the moment,
yes. The woman vice president, we are ready for one in the season. But even a woman president, we are ready. And that's why we even have these academies coming up, already letting the women own the title. But I have one proposal, that let the woman also be taken through a competitive process. Right now, we have very many runners for presidency in the country. But I want to ask all of us one question that we can even take home. Who were those president or those people that are vying for presidency right now, were they nominated democratically? Did you hear a nomination? Did you hear, like, for example, there was me and Kimemia got the party ticket. And even the women, now you see the vice president is what we want to subject to a process over there, hakaeleweki, but of course the big man's interest has to come first.
Yes.
Women, we want to outgrow that, hata kama ni nominations. In 2027, I hope when we are doing party nominations, can we also do party nominations for vice president and the president?
I agree.
So that now we are
agree.
able to at least say we've leveled the playing field.
Men are very crafty. They say that women, we hate each other.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there is nothing like that. That is a notion that we have deconstructed long time ago. Women, they love each other. If you look at the chamas, which chamas do well? It's the women-led chamas. So the men, they are very clever. They use women to come and deconstruct. You know, enda usubue Kimemia, tumtume huko. They will not send a fellow man. No, they'll send a woman so that now it looks like it's a fight for the women. And that is what we are saying in this country. I think we have come of age. We have come of age. Our men in the political parties, because they're the ones who decide. They go into boardrooms and they decide. Now we have to come open. We have to be very transparent. And everything, as Dr. is saying, let us also next time have a nomination for the deputy presidents. And I thank God, because let me tell you, I don't know how I would have had those nominations. Daktari, congrats. I am vying at the Democratic Party of Kenya, and I thank them. They gave me the party, the party ticket, the certificate. I have the nomination.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, the nominations, when you hear men, they say they are shambolic. As I don't know what we are going to say about it, because they are very funny. You know, there is somebody I heard the other day that they were doing nomination on Monday. On Tuesday. Imagine they were done on Monday afternoon. So when she went on Tuesday, she found that there is no nomination. Can you imagine? These issues of CG polls, Kenya, we have not arrived at those issues. We cannot be. We have not employed. If they want to do scientific polls, then let us also get scholars to be vying. Let us have a cap that it is only a degree and above that can go, because if they are employing science is not for people who have not gone to school. So then we let's balance. Let them not bring this table at CG. They are doing the polls. Then wanasema hata mtu wa form 4 enda ukachukue ubunge.
You know, Julia, you've reminded me of a very interesting subject when you mentioned the degrees. The other day we had the debate that just died a natural death on whether legislatures should have degrees. And I want to bring two issues. Number one, these legislators, even the MCA, if you hear them talking about bursaries, you'd never think they would hold degrees and education at such low level, kusema hata hatutaki. Na wao ndio wanasomesha hawa watoto. Then number two, there's also the issue of, and it's a very controversial, and this is personal, if I want to work as a CC in the company, she was CC.
She was, yes.
Who endorsed her? Who approved her? It was MCAs. Do those MCAs have even a diploma?
I can share my experience.
Please
There is
do.
one who
Please
could not read the word challenge. You know, I was employed as a CC of health. So there's this MCA who went up to class 7. So they've been given the questions to ask. Then he's like, what do you think will be the challenge now? Shara. Now the speaker say challenge. He had to be
Prompted.
But it is that serious.
And that is the person who is vetting me. And he can decide, hata umeanguka hii, umeanguka. English.
So what would be the
Can you
minimum?
imagine?
What would be the
It should be a
minimum?
degree, honestly.
A degree.
Because
Degrees.
70% of Kenyans have degrees. Honestly. And you're going to make decisions that affect these Kenyans. No, we can. It should not be debatable. Let me share my experience. In the constitution passed in 2010.
2010.
I was a lecturer at JKUAT. And elections were in 2012. So the requirement for degree was an express clause, an express requirement in the Katiba. So what happened, the university, we quickly came up with a program called Leadership and Governance that was now targeting these old people. Let me tell you, enrollment, we had 2,000. Then, the first senator of Machakos, I think they are the ones who went to court. Yeah. They went and said, no, this Katiba has just come in. There's no way you can get a degree in a year. So it was pushed to the next election, 2017.
2017.
But I am telling you, between now when the Katiba passed and when the court ruled that you have a window up to 2017, we had about 3,000 students enrolled. Yeah. The day Modama went to court, that enrollment, they dropped off, all of them. We were left with 600. The university suffered very serious in cash flow.
The cash flow, and
they left. You know that you left a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, they left the group.
They left and they stopped coming to class. Yeah. Imagine. So we were left with 600. By the time it was 2014, those who lost the elections in 2013, a few of them continued up to diploma. Yeah. And by 2017, they were only 20.
Out of six.
Now doing degree.
3,000.
We were left with 20.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can see, you can see the problem we have with our leaders. All of them are not educated. I don't want to use the word illiterate. And that is why, by the way, we have been overtaken by the Singapore's.
Yes.
Because there is a relationship between skills, knowledge, attitude. Because those are the factors that lead to good policies, implementation, monitoring, thinking, and creativity. And so, lack of education is our biggest contributor to slow growth.
One last, I can see our director.
Our director is
standing on us.
She's standing on her feet.
Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes is too long. I want to bring in the issue of public participation as far as even the issues that we are talking about are concerned. Daktari has very well said that the people who are making these decisions, they themselves are in the system, they want to retain themselves there, and so they have to go against it. If we are able to beef up public participation so that the millions and millions of youth who have degrees are out there and they are jobless, and people like us, if public participation is effective in Kenya, it will not be so easy for 290 legislators plus 47 to wash down the ideas of millions. So maybe topic for another day, but we really need to think effectiveness of public participation in Kenya needs to be beefed up. The director is almost running. Thank you so much for listening to me.
I'm going to give Julia and Daktari 30 seconds to give their final take, and then we wind up. 30 seconds for a politician.
Thank you so much. I'm actually requesting the people of Kagema to elect me as the first woman member of parliament, and I'm very sure that we shall carry the day. Thank you so much.
Daktari, your 30 seconds.
Thank you so much for this wonderful show. Again, I want to talk to the people of Kiambu. Thank you so much for electing me in 2017, even if I never got the Senate seat. This time, you have assured me that you will give me the opportunity to become your first female governor, and I promise you that I will exceed your expectations. Please vote for me, Dr. Juliet Gathoni Kimemia, as your governor 2022.
Well, that marks it for us. Thank you so much, ladies, for finding time to join us on today's episode.
You're welcome.
Clearly, Madam Director, we need a second round. This wasn't enough. We still have issues and issues upon issues that we need to discuss surrounding having more women taking up political slots, particularly in these coming general elections in August. My name is Queen Tambori, and as usual, I'm always excited, to bring to you these issues, touching on women's problems, touching on our successes, touching on the challenges, and today we were focusing on women in politics. What do you think it will take to have more women having that spot on the table. Remember, the show doesn't end here. Let's keep conversing. Talk to us on our social media platforms at KTN Home. I'm also available at Queen Tambori, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Apparently, I'm also on TikTok. So let us engage, let us learn from each other, and let us share our ideas. We are hosted by the amazing Tamarind Tree Hotel. This is a place where you can come and have a good time. They're available on social media. Go right there and check out all the services that they offer. Well, till next time, this has been Her Standards. It is a bye from us, and we see you next weekend.